If I ask you right now, what's the formula for success? I already know what you'll say. Work hard, be consistent, don't give up. That's the story we've all been told since we were kids. Your parents told you, your teachers told you. Even those videos you scroll past online keep saying the same thing. But if that was the full truth, then the people who work the hardest should be the ones living the best lives, right? But is that what you see around you? Look around. The man sweating on a construction site from sunrise to sunset. The woman carrying heavy goods up and down in the market, day after day. They're working harder than most CEOs you'll ever hear about. But who has the better life? It doesn't add up, and you've seen it with your own eyes. So if hard work alone doesn't bring success, then what does? Success is less about how much effort you put in, and more about how much leverage you can create. Think about it for a second. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't work longer hours than his employees, but he owns the system they're all working in. That's leverage. Jeff Bezos doesn't wake up in the morning to pack your order, but every time a box moves, his wealth increases. That's leverage. And here's the lie you and I grew up hearing. Focus on doing the work. But what they never told us? Focus on owning the work. That's why millions of people spend their whole lives working faithfully, giving their best years to jobs, and still worrying about bills. Meanwhile, the people at the top, they're not just working, they're playing a different game entirely. And don't expect them to spell it out for you. Why would they? If everyone understood how the game really works, who would keep it going for them? Let me ask you this. When you wake up in the morning, do you feel like you're building something that truly belongs to you? Or do you feel like you're just helping someone else's dream grow bigger? If you're honest with yourself, you already know the answer. Success isn't about adding more hours, more sweat, more effort. It's about creating something that works even when you're not there. That's the gap between rich and poor. The wealthy don't start from zero every morning. Their work keeps rolling, day after day, even while they sleep. But for most people, the clock resets every Monday morning, back to square one. Money doesn't just come from effort, it comes from position. Where you stand matters more than how fast you run. Think of it this way. Two people can work the same hours with the same energy. One keeps struggling to survive. The other builds wealth that lasts. It's not because one is smarter. It's because one is standing in a different spot in the game. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. That's why some people who don't look like they work that hard still pull ahead. Because they're not chasing money. They're positioned where the money flows. The Bible puts it simply in Ecclesiastes 9:11. The race is not to the swift nor the battle to the strong. In other words, it's not always the fastest or the strongest who win. It's the one who shows up in the right place at the right time, playing the right game. So the next time someone tells you, all you need to do is work harder and you'll succeed, stop and think. Hard work matters. Of course it does. But it's not the whole story. Because if effort alone was enough, the wealthiest people on earth would look very different from the ones you see today. The truth about success? It lives in the leverage you build. It lives in what you own, not just what you do. And whether you've realized it or not, you're already in the game. The only question is, are you playing it the right way? And maybe that's the part nobody likes to say out loud. Real success isn't about running faster in the same circle. It's about having the courage to step out of that circle and build something of your own. To stop living only for the paycheck and start building something that can stand without you clocking in every morning. Because at the end of the day, you don't get remembered for how many hours you worked. You get remembered for what you built, what you owned, and what you left behind.